Okay, so a lot of these gates have chains, and then they have little slots that the chains go into. That's a really strong system right there. That's very strong, and they can't break it. Whereas if you just clipped it somewhere, they could actually break the clip really easy. So sometimes I do have clips. There was a clip on this one where it would be clipped over there. If you have a clip, it keeps the mules from being able to play with it, but it also is really strong. So whenever you can, hook things into one of the slots. Don't just wrap it around and clip it. Okay, this is kind of famous for the mules knowing how to come up here and open it by pushing it in. So if there's a mule in here, it has to be chained. When John made this, he made it so that it has a slot, but there's nothing really to clip it. So the mules will come and play with this and eventually get it open. This instead can be hooked to any other place. They haven't really figured that out. And then there's a backup chain if there's mules in here that it can be also applied to keep them from getting through. But you can't underestimate the ability of a mule to open a gate. Okay, this is the back gate, and the way that it's put together, it has two big carabiners, and you just put this one over here and you clip this one. Sometimes when we're going fast and we're just going for a few seconds, we might clip it like that. But the problem with that is that it gets pretty far away, far apart, and the zebra can get through and the smaller Mustangs can get through here. So that's why we don't generally leave it like that. It's pretty strong when it's like this, but we have had horses run into it hard enough that they bent these clips and got out. So whenever you go out, you should secure it some way, unless you're only going just a few feet and coming right back. Okay, so when you go to feed the horses, you usually put the bags in from the outside, or you might put them from the inside. But you're going to warn the horse, you're going to toss it over, and then you're going to tie it near eye level. Okay, the bag should not hang down much lower than that. You really don't want that. The reason why is because if it starts hanging down there, they're going to paw it and they're going to get their foot stuck in it. They're going to panic and they're going to get scared. They might even get hurt. So you put it up, you put the rope through the cross piece. We're going to show instead of this, and then you just tie it like that. And that's the way it should be. You want to make sure that you don't tie it over sand, if you can help it, and over poop, in a gateway, or over a wet spot.
Find a good spot to hang these up where they're not going to get their hay wet and they're not going to be putting their hay in piles of poop. And we also don't want them to be dripping their hay into their water bucket. So this is a nice dry spot. and we'll try to avoid any piles of loose sand that might be on the ground.
Okay, so when you're dealing with the water, if it's got a little bit of stuff on it, it's not too bad, but if you can see mud or if the water's not clear enough that you can see the bottom, then that water needs to be dumped and changed. And you can then you can scrub it out with a brush. Okay? When you're filling the waters, on these waters, you want to fill it almost full during the summer because they'll drink that much water or maybe more, maybe run out during the day. And if you notice one being out, you want to fill it back up. But in the winter time, I usually time it with my watch. I give them 2 minutes worth of water. That's how much water will run out of the hose in 2 minutes. In the summer, they generally drink closer to 3 minutes, but because Hammer likes to play with his water, and this is Hammer's water, then I go ahead and just fill it on up. So it's very simple, but it's very important for them to always have clean water. Great. Okay, there's 3 parts to poop cleaning, and the first part is called consolidation. So you consolidate all the materials into one pile. Now you might just be a consolidator, so you might just go around to the whole corral system and rake things up into piles. That's what a consolidator does. Then the next job that comes along is called the lift specialist. And the lift specialist also has the transportation vehicle. So it gets lifted into the wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow sometimes is being pushed by a different person, and then that person is a freight person. So there's the freight, the lift, and the consolidation. And the whole key is to maximize the rate of manure removal over to the poop pile. So that whatever it takes to get that as efficient as possible, that's what you want to do. Okay, if you go out there and you think a horse might be sick, the first thing to do is go get some help from me. Tell me right away. Don't just say, well, let's wait and see what happens later. Come find me and tell me right away so that we can evaluate it. One of the signs of sickness that doesn't look much like a sign of sickness, but it is if you see them getting up and down more than once, if you see them biting at their sides. This is a real serious sign that needs to be dealt with immediately. So if you have any questions about it, just come find me. That's it.